Hello, this is Rishika, and this is our group's presentation for our content nutrition tracking app. With the rise of short form content platforms such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, it has become more difficult for users to gauge how they spend their time consuming content. These systems are specifically designed for continuous engagement through infinite scrolling and algorithmic recommendations, often prioritizing consumer retention rather than their well being, leading to low awareness, recall, and minimal intentionality. Current interfaces lack meaningful information about what users consume and only show time based breakdowns. Mindlessly consuming content reinforces passive interaction loops, making users unaware of their behavior, causing reduced attention span and increased distractibility. Through research over various personal informatic apps, we realized that nutrition tracking apps provided users with structured feedback, categorization, and reflection loops. We aim to use this absence of semantic structure and evaluative frameworks to build a prototype that evaluated content consumption like a nutritional tracking app, with the purpose of helping users develop content literacy and awareness. Thus, this problem is a critical HCI challenge because it's not just about platform overuse, but about the lack of meaningful interaction design present in current interfaces. We also looked at some existing solutions for content consumption, such as Apple's screen time and Instagram usage metrics. The first issue we noticed was the visibility of these systems. Both these features are hidden inside the apps of settings and Instagram settings, making it difficult for users to locate them. So, the need of a dedicated platform or app becomes more apparent through this. Further, these tools show how long users spend their time on the app rather than what they consume. For instance, screen time allows users to see their daily average and how much time was spent on each app, and Instagram metrics show how much time a user spends on the app as well as what they consume, but they don't break this down into categories for user simplicity. This causes incomplete system feedback, making the user unaware of their content patterns, violating Nielsen's first heuristic on visibility of system status, and creating a lack of semantic decomposition. Further, many users try to gauge content through categories like entertainment, news, education, instead of how much time was actually spent consuming them. So this creates a mismatch between the system and real world, violating Nielsen's second heuristic as these systems treat educational and mindless content as just 1 hour of content consumed instead of categorizing them as high value and low value. This also creates a big gulf of evaluation since users have no means to evaluate the content they consume just by receiving the time based metrics, also causing a lack of semantic directness through this. These systems also lack in giving feedback to users about their content categories and minimize reflection patterns, thus violating Nielsen's ninth heuristic on helping users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Further, if a user wants to improve their content consumption habits, the only options present for them for self regulation are setting time limits on each app. This lack of nuanced control systems, such as reducing entertainment content and increasing um, the algorithm to show more content, such as educational things, increases the gulf of execution for the user. So, through our critique of these existing solutions, we were able to identify the pain points of content consumption and made an effort to include these in our proposed prototype.
So problem one. Users don't know the quality of what they consume. Screen time only shows duration, not what you watched or whether it was valuable. This creates a goal of evaluation. Users want to know if their habits are good, but the system only gives minutes. Our report card here shows a letter grade immediately unopened with top topics and most used platform. This supports visibility of system status through instant feedback and match between system and real world since letter grades are already universally understood. Subproblem 2. All content is treated the same. An hour of news and an hour of reaction videos look identical in current tools, violating the match between system and real world. We use a four-tier color system. High value is green, informative yellow, casual orange, and low value red. Tapping a platform shows each topic as a colored card. The traffic light mapping follows consistency and standards and closes the gulf of evaluation by showing what time was actually made above. Subproblem 3. Users can recall what they consumed. Scrolling is passive and most users forget what they saw. Without a record, reflection is impossible. Tapping a topic card reveals specific articles or videos, plus insights like average reading time and viewing pattern. such as quick scanning. Progressive disclosure keeps the interface clean, supporting aesthetic and minimalist design. Behavioral insights help users spot problematic habits, helping users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Use the other screen for Reddit. And subproblem 4. No way to track habits over time. Users cannot answer, am I improving with current tools? Our weekly and monthly feed screens show pie charts of content quality over time using the same color system, with daily, weekly, activity bars below. Consistent colors across all screens reinforce consistency and standards, and simple arrow navigation closes the gulf of execution by giving users a direct path to long-term execution and reflection.
The primary weaknesses of our design and prototype are as follows: reliance on participant action, content interpretability and overlap, and privacy concerns. Firstly, the user's overall experience of social media is merely being documented and broken down for their interpretation, but any desired changes to their media consumption is left solely to suggestions, reminders, and their actions. While this does work in alignment with H3's user control and freedom, it leaves the last stage of the Gulf of execution, that being interface mechanism, entirely in the user's hands. Secondly, there's a difficulty in classifying content that often overlaps themes. Several platforms, while designed with different types of content in mind, can share similar or identical content and creators, so it's difficult to distinguish when consumption is considered healthy or unhealthy. This directly goes against H2, match between system and the real world. For example, a user can be watching current events on a news app or YouTube, which has a different grade of consumption in our prototype, despite being the same kind of content. Thirdly, and arguably our greatest weakness, are privacy concerns. Our privacy concerns limit the full extent of our design. We try to address it with an immediate privacy and permissions notice, but it is an ambitious design legally speaking, since we will try to encompass as much non-sensitive user data as possible. We will also likely run into issues with H5, as errors when presenting user data in a structured feedback will be difficult when compiling between data from a multitude of platforms. To wrap up, Content Nutri seeks to curb near infinite doom scrolling and curate a more enriching feed using an interface similar to that of a dieting app. We seek to shorten the gulf of execution by giving users the means to evaluate the content they consume by receiving not just time-based metrics provided by Apple, but also direct semantic breakdowns. And we hope you enjoyed this, and thank you for watching.